Welcome back to Hobby Jogger Elite. Today we are talking about one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to running, beyond the racing, beyond the training. That is, of course, running shoes. And particularly today, we're going to touch on 3 pairs of shoes that I think are incredibly underrated and a key factor that plays a part in my buying a running shoe or gravitating towards it, and that is its durability. How long is this shoe going to last? If you're somebody like me who is likely training for a half marathon, a marathon, maybe something even a little bit longer, you're gonna need shoes that hold up over those long training miles. You can't get shoes that last as long as your super shoe racers. You know, you take a look at like the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent, and it's pretty much done with its peak capabilities after 200K or 120 miles, 150 miles. You want your training shoes to be durable. And I think, yes, you want them to be comfortable. You want them to maybe be lightweight, to be supportive, to perform a number of different functions. But durability is a key aspect. That sort of number of miles to dollars spent ratio should be impressive. And these are 3 particular shoes that impressed me. And again, I find underrated when it comes to that aspect. The first shoe is a shoe that I've put quite a few miles in at this point, and I did not expect to. It's older than the other 2 shoes. It's one that I haven't talked about on this channel before. It is, of course, the New Balance Rebel V2. One of my favorite running shoes of all time. New Balance just really knows what they are doing when it comes to running shoes, especially when it comes to trainers. And I think this is the best version of a very versatile daily trainer that New Balance has out there, and one of the most versatile versions of a daily trainer out there in the market in general. It is extremely lightweight at 7.4 ounces for a men's size 9. Beyond that, I think it has the sort of like perfect drop. Heel toe drop is 6 millimeters. It doesn't feel incredibly steep. It doesn't feel like you're running in a 0 drop ultra shoe. It's that perfect middle ground. And the stack height isn't insane. It's 26 millimeters in the heel, 20 millimeters in the forefoot. But because of that sort of fuel cell midsole compound, it just feels like you are running on clouds, but it's not like mushy clouds. They are clouds that rebound you back up in your foot strike and keep you moving. I've done anything from 16, 17 mile long runs in these at a variety of different paces to pure interval fast speed workouts. I think this shoe can cover that range. If you're somebody who likes something a little bit firmer, that gives you a bit more of responsiveness when it comes to that very compact foam, like I wouldn't call this that. It is not a dense foam that's gonna really compress and decompress quickly, but it is very accommodating. I find this to be one of the wider daily trainers that will let your toes splay out. It is probably the most comfortable lightweight shoe I have ever run in, and I've put just over 400 miles into it at this point, and I think it is still capable to some extent. As you can see on the bottom here, some of that rubber has definitely been worn away up top. It's a pretty soft rubber, but rubber has not been worn down to the midsole in any spot in a shoe that everyone claimed would not be durable, that would have to be sacked after like 250, 300 miles. I'm at 400 miles in these shoes at this point. I think they're still fine, you know, for a short, easy run. For treadmill running especially, I wouldn't take this on a long run at this point, but I do think it is underrated in the durability department based on that very soft midsole compound, and they are definitely still out there to be had. I know this is an old shoe. The Rebel V3 is out there. There's more coming from New Balance in the near future, but you can get these on pretty deep discount when you look at spots like Zappos, like Amazon. I would never outright encourage you to buy shoes from Amazon, but if you're trying to pinch some pennies, these are out there on Amazon for cheap prices. So check out the Rebel V2 if you haven't. One of my favorite trainers of all time, one of the most versatile trainers. Definitely worth looking at, especially in that underrated durability department. The next shoe I'll be talking about is a shoe I have been effusive in my praise with on this channel before. I have reviewed it already. I did not expect to still be running in it at this high of a mileage, and that is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. You'll notice that the theme here between this and the previous shoe, the Rebel V2's durability and versatility. I like a very versatile daily trainer that some days I can pick up for an easy run. Some days I can pick up for a recovery run. Some days I can take for my midweek, medium, long run, and I can even take out for a long run workout. And this shoe fits that description. I think you can do everything from short recovery runs up to race day in this. I would be comfortable racing a marathon in this shoe. I think if you can get the shoe, even at its retail price, but especially at a sale price, like this is the shoe I would recommend to everybody. No matter how you run, it has a wide platform. It is more stable than any past Saucony Endorphin Speed. I think it's more durable than any past Saucony Endorphin Speed. It's just as light, and it's got more cushion underfoot than the previous iterations. This is, in my opinion, a near perfect running shoe. And again, with 450 miles in it, still going, I'm still comfortable going on a long run in them. I'm definitely comfortable doing anything normal daily training miles in them, still do speed workouts in them. And again, I am quickly approaching the 500 mile mark in them. The Endorphin Speeds have never been incredibly durable for me. The first iteration, the second iteration have really started to lack their luster in their pop at around 300 miles. And from there, they pretty much died very slow deaths up to maybe like 350 miles at most. I have a pair of 1s and 2s upstairs that are currently in the process of that. I'm just sort of waiting to retire them. But these are still going strong at 450 miles. They're wide and accommodating. They're only 8 ounces at a men's size 9, 28 millimeters in the forefoot, 36 in the heel, so an 8 millimeter drop, which again is a pretty good range for me. And yeah, they've been out since July of last year, but I think these are pretty much the perfect running shoe. So if you can get a durable, versatile daily trainer like this, you may as well take advantage of. The final shoe on this list, another shoe I've talked about before, the one I would probably recommend the least out of these three, but have still definitely surprised me at this point, the Nike Zoom X Invincible 2. I think that's the full name. I'm probably missing a fly in there. But I talked about these shoes earlier in my sort of channel's birth, and I'm currently at 411 miles in them, and they pretty much feel the exact same as they did when I talked about them at I think around 250 or so miles. They're going strong. The outsole still has all of its little short rubber lugs there. It really hasn't worn down exponentially except for a little bit in the back of the heel there and up towards the toe off. But beyond that, the upper has held up magnificently. The shoe is a surprising tank. And if you're familiar with ZoomX foam, like I said earlier with the Vaporfly Next Percent, those things lose a lot of pop when it comes to at least like race day energy return that you're looking for at 120, 150 miles. These are currently serving their purpose with a ZoomX midsole at well over 400 miles. And again, like these other shoes, I heard complaints about these shoes being dead at 300 miles, 350 miles. I have no doubt that my pair will last at least until 500 miles. And again, reminder, I'm not the smallest runner. I'm not Seth D'Amour, who is like 5'5", 120 pounds soaking wet. I'm a 5'11" runner who fluctuates anywhere from like between 165 pounds to 175 pounds, depending on the season, depending on my training volume. So the fact that a, normal to above average size runner is getting these kinds of miles out of soft midsoles like the Pebax with Saucony, like the Fuel Cell with New Balance, like ZoomX with Nike, definitely offers a testament to these types of shoes. And again, this one is not quite as versatile, a little bit more heavy, more in that like easy recovery category when it comes to that comparison between the Endorphin Speed 3s and the New Balance Rebel V2s, but a capable daily trainer that I think is fine for long runs and fine for everything less than that when it comes to an easy to moderate to steady pace. So if you're looking for a durable daily trainer, and you can get these, I would say, probably on sale, especially with the Invincible 3s being out now, then these might be a shoe you want to gravitate towards. They aren't the most stable, but they're stable enough. They aren't the softest, but they are soft enough. Like, they just really are a set it and forget it, get the job done type of daily trainer for easy miles. So yeah, they've surprised me. I thought I would be done with these shoes by now, but here we are at over 400, still going strong. So that is it for my 3 underrated durable shoes when it comes to a running shoe rotation. And surprisingly enough, the 3 shoes I picked would make a great 3-shoe training rotation. You can do your easy daily trainer recovery miles in the Invincibles. You do some speed work, some shorter stuff, anything from easy to interval work in the Rebel V2s, and then some long runs, some workouts in the Speed 3s. I think that's a perfectly viable 3-shoe rotation, and all these shoes are starting to pop up on sales as the newer iterations are becoming more popular and coming out in general. So definitely check these shoes out. If you've run in the Invincibles, the Rebels, the Speeds, let me know what your thoughts on those shoes have been down in the comments below. And I think that's everything for today. So we'll catch up next time. Peace.